All right, dude. What do you say? Fire in the hole?
Yeah,
there we go, brother. Let's kick her on off. I love Rush.
I do too.
Absolutely love Rush. And
it's a band I wish I would have seen live. I mean, not that they don't tour now, but when I was younger,
I saw them a couple times when they were in their, just the prime.
Yeah.
And they just
80s.
It was
late
rocking. 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
They were just rocking it. And a couple times when I saw them, Neil Peart, their drummer, stole the show. I mean, a drummer just taking over a stage is just absolutely incredible.
Oh, yeah.
But, so, there are three members in that, which is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Normally they're 4, 5, 6. There's a shit ton of them, but there's just 3.
Okay.
Guitarist, a bass guy, and a drummer.
Are there any others? 3. It's an unusual number. It just seems that...
top 3-man bands of all time.
All right, give it to me.
Rush, in no particular order. Rush, Triumph, Police.
Dude, that's a solid call.
That is a good call.
Absolutely a solid call.
And if I missed someone, well, I missed them because they didn't count.
And I will say, for complete disclosure, my buddy Fozzie, he posted on Facebook yesterday. He goes, he's seen Rush like about a dozen times, and then he says, "I'm listening. Over this next week, I'm going to listen to every Rush song that's ever been played, or they're ever going to make." Okay, whatever. It's he's in the car.
He's going to start Tuesday.
He's got that's right. Really, no kidding.
That's a lot of albums, man.
But I was thinking about Rush, and I said we got to kick off the show with Rush. So,
good call.
Fozzie, man, this is for you, brother. A little Rush, Limelight. We'll kick this thing off. Hey, this is our 7th podcast. Can you believe this? I know. It's just kind of
we haven't been jailed yet. Yeah, I'm fire.
And I am Brim Stone. And this is Thursday, October 20th. And this is another week that, there's so much going on. But what did you do the past couple days, past weekend?
Well, first of all, how crazy was the weather?
Oh, the weather was just something else.
Disgustingly awesome.
This is, we'll take every bit of it, right?
Yeah, we're going to pay for that, man.
Yeah, of course we will.
The almanac and all the predictions are just predicting just miserable cold and ridiculous amounts of freaking precipitation.
Do you have to be a weatherman in Toledo, Ohio, to predict that it's going to be cold?
But it's supposed to be like, it was only about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we had the coldest winter on record.
Toledo was ranked the number one worst. Yeah,
record.
They were ranked. Toledo was ranked the number one worst.
And then the very next year, the very next winter, we get pounded with the most freaking snow in recorded history in this area. And then last year was a freaking joke.
Yeah,
we had nothing. I don't think I got my snowplow out once.
No, we didn't either.
I did not get it out once, and now they're calling for record nightmares again.
We're that winter before our neighbor. At a neighbor house when you pull up to the right.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't have a very big front yard, and so he throws all of his snow into his yard. And when I'm going, I throw all the snow into his yard, too. He had 4+ feet of snow.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yard.
Yeah, I bet his basement's flooded. He's going, you freaking prick. You footing half this repair bill?
Absolutely.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was beautiful. But
I don't want to deal with that, man. I don't want to deal with that.
How many people ask us, what's the weather like? Because we deal with people around the world, work with people around the world. And they ask us, what's the weather like in Toledo? And I go, here's the problem.
What do you want?
Yeah, really.
Just
depends. I go, here's the problem. Most of the time, too much of the time, the weather is unusable. And that is when it's 45 degrees, it's too warm to go sledding or skiing or, ice skating, something like that. At 45 degrees, it's too cold to go to golf or tennis or go swimming or something like that. So it's really just unusable. So I would rather take the cold stuff and, hit the hills and go sledding or something like that than, not just have some of that blah weather. But, whatever you take, whatever you can get. So did you watch some football over the weekend?
I watched a little bit of football.
Imagine that.
I watched a little bit of football. Really disappointed in the Alabama-Tennessee game, man. I was hoping I knew they couldn't beat Alabama.
Right.
Coming off a loss like that, I was just hoping for Tennessee just to have a little more pride and stand up. But they got down early, and they got that Buffalo Bill-itis, and then they just got slobbered on. And then they were like deer in headlights, you know what I mean?
They just got smacked. I mean, kudos Alabama. They took care of business. There was no question about it. They didn't leave any questions out there about them, being able to take on Tennessee. And they've got we'll talk about this a little bit sooner or a little bit later. They've got Texas A&M this weekend, which is a big one.
Oh, man.
That is a big one.
Yeah, A&M's been kind of a thorn in Bama's side, too.
No shit.
So let's hope.
Let's find Johnny Manziel. We'll head down to Austin, wherever he's hanging out. We'll just go watch a football game with him.
Does anyone know where Johnny Manziel is?
Apparently, he was taking classes at Texas A&M. But I don't know if that was confirmed or not.
He's
but
chasing
that's what I heard.
Girls, man. He's chasing sorority girls with $1,000 bills.
That's probably right.
I get. You know what? Good for him. I don't know.
Yeah. So, you know what? A friend of mine, he says, you guys have to talk about some food. Everybody likes food. No kidding.
I'm a very proud proponent of food.
Yeah, I think so. I heard that's probably a good thing for everybody.
Yeah, we'll never get PETA to sponsor us because I am a flesh eater. Just so you know. You know what? These little things on the side of our mouths called incisors, they're meant to tear shit off bones.
Well, you know what PETA stands for, don't you?
I don't care what PETA stands for. You getting away with my steak, you're getting pimp slapped.
Well, and sorry for all of our fans out there, but PETA stands for people eating tasty animals.
Well, then I am in that organization. That's a new one. I misunderstood the acronym. There's so many between work and everywhere else. You get them mixed up.
So we probably lost a couple fans there.
No, we didn't. I guarantee you we didn't lose any. We probably gained 10.
You know what? We'll take it.
And tell the rest of your carnivorous friends out there about us.
That's a big word for you.
I'm surprised I didn't bite my tongue.
You figure out what it tastes like too, right? So, this weekend, my daughter and I, every once in a while, that's right. You schlub. This weekend, my daughter and I, my other daughter was coming into town from Ohio State, and we said, okay, let's make something. And so we made a dessert called tiramisu. And tiramisu it's an Italian type of, it's a custard, and you have and you actually have with that, it's like a soft bread that you dip into coffee or chocolate or something like that.
Okay.
And it is absolutely, we hit that out of the park. Absolutely just smoking hit it out of the park. Now, I know it's a different one, but it's, it was delicious.
You're going to have to make that for me.
You know what? We will do that.
And if it's as foo-foo as it sounds to me.
It is delicious.
It better be, because if it's not, you're getting your man card pulled.
You know what? And then, with that.
Tiramisu. The fact that you can say tiramisu.
And you know what?
I don't know, Doug.
And you know what? I'm going to make a cosmopolitan
double M.
for you.
I'm worried about you, man.
You're going to drop an M?
Tiramisu, yeah. You may lose an M. You're going to lose a stripe, General. Yeah. You're double lowercase now. Brim, double M lowercase stone.
So, and I'll also make a cosmopolitan for you, too. A nice little pinkish colored drink. Oh, we could do that. That's like
all right. Yeah. All right. It's got weird.
like that. So I tell you what, I am living on a high right now. The Indians are going to the World Series.
We were just talking about this last week, and man, they freaking clinched already.
I know.
Francona's a genius. He's a matchup master.
Did you see what he did the other night? 7 freaking pitchers.
Oh, yeah. It's like, you know what? Everyone throw 10 pitches, and everyone's fresh, and I'll just figure out when you go in. He's really good, man. We are living in a very interesting era, I think, across all sports.
Yep.
We are seeing some of the most genius masterminds, of coaches. And with all the money and all the pressure and free agencies across the board, the way things are today, people like Belichick, who just create this dynasty that win with it doesn't matter who's there. And then people like Francona helps release the curse in Fenway, wins 3, and then comes to Cleveland, changes the complete and now they're in the series.
I know.
I mean, he's a genius. It just. And then you got Popovich, in San Antonio.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of good coachings. Those guys will be known historically for a long time.
Now I'm hoping that they go up against another good, manager, which is Joe Madden with the Cubs. I don't deny I'm rooting for the Cubs.
Can you imagine the oldest National League drought versus the oldest American League drought?
That's right.
Somebody's drinking, baby. Somebody's drinking.
Who wins is Budweiser. Because it doesn't matter who wins or loses. They are going to sell a lot of
that.
Beer.
Is true.
It is. No, that's just, it is so cool. And then if you'd have thought about Cleveland, what was it, 6 months ago, everybody's talking about Cleveland, and, when's the last time they won any type of championship? Mm-hmm. It was
64, I think, or so. Something with the Browns. Yeah. Jim Brown was there. So, but now you could have two professional league world champions in the same calendar year,
I know.
man.
Yeah, go figure.
The mistake by the lake just got legitimized. You know what I mean?
Now, the only thing that could screw it up is that they were to do that.
Well, if they would lose 4 games in the World Series, that would screw it all to hell.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, but if the Browns win a game or two and not get the number 1 pick,
what's it matter what they're going to do? They'll draft some, they'll draft
some slap. That's right,
another quarterback.
Yeah, another one like that.
Protect.
But no, I mean, hats off to Cleveland and what's going on there. I mean,
it was good.
Just what it is.
But you know what? Let's give props to Chicago too.
Yeah.
Everybody was kind of writing them off. They were down 2-1 in L.A. The bats are silent. And then all of a sudden,
they exploded.
Mount Cubbies explodes for 10 runs?
Yeah.
Who was it? Who's their 2 boys in the front of the batting order?
Well, you got Chris Bryant up there. He's the one stud, which I absolutely love.
They were batting like 0.25 and 0.47.
Yeah.
And they between the two of them, they had like 5 RBIs and 2 home runs and 4 hits, and those guys obviously are the energy and the heart of the team.
And that's a young team, too.
And that radiated out, and boom. So
that's a young team. You just mentioned something with Francona, though, just a few seconds ago. You're right. He takes the Red Sox out of, breaks that curse, and he's got this chance to do it with the Indians. Mm-hmm. I mean, what, I would love to see that Joe Madden and Terry Francona.
Then the question, he'd have to win a couple more series with Cleveland, assuming he gets this one.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, who does he go in the Hall of Fame as?
Oh,
what team?
That's a damn good question.
Well, he's got 3 in Boston, so
you got to start. Start Boston.
You're going to have to get like 5 in Cleveland.
Take a hat, just cut it in half. 2 of them, just sew them together or something like that. I mean, because he's just a damn good coach, just a damn good. I mean, and you mentioned Greg Popovich in San Antonio. You don't know.
They had 5.
Yeah.
And they legitimately should have had a 6th world championship that year with Miami. Should have won that one in Game 6. That's 6 titles in this. Yeah. I mean, that's.
Then you mentioned
that's a wicked dynasty, man.
You mentioned Belichick. All these guys, they don't look for the limelight. You're not going to see them. Out. It's just they just coach. They just motivate. They just It would be great to do a story on guys like that. It's just in the Lombardis and all that. They weren't looking for the limelight. They were just out there. They just wanted to coach. Mm-hmm. They knew what their team did, and they just they're just hell of a guys. So I was talking to a dude today who's a former pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. He actually pitched last year. Was 2008. And I said, you know what? And we've been trying to get him on the show. We'll get him on the show one of these times.
Yeah, we need him on the show for his World Series predictions.
So I asked him, I said, I think the Indians, they have, they clinch and they're in. These guys, they got to be the front runners. He goes, I don't know about that. I go, why not? He says, I'm worried about the pitchers. He said the pitchers, with that kind of layoff, because they're not going to play for 6 games. Mm-hmm. And he goes, pitchers tighten up. He actually said that pitchers heal. You don't want to start healing like that because you start tightening up. I never thought about that. And I go, what about simulated games?
Right,
we were talking about that, right?
Yeah, so go out and throw 4 hard innings or something to at least like a scrimmage.
Yeah, he goes, it's not the same. It's not the same. He goes, you're playing against your own batters, so you're not going to throw the ball against them or anything like that. You're just, grooving it down the plate. And he goes, you can't replace or, you can't that adrenaline that you get.
and this will tie into what are some of our talk in the NFL too.
Yeah.
It's all about rhythm. And when a team like, when you're a pitcher, you're in that routine, you're in that rhythm, boom, 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 boom.
Absolutely.
Boom. Your body knows what's coming.
Absolutely.
It just, there's that response. Then you throw it out of whack. It can either be really good or it can be really bad.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think if you look back historically, and I'm not smart enough to do this fast enough, with any intelligence that we could speak on it right now.
Yeah.
But I think if you look back historically, a lot of teams that have had those big layoffs, they've probably struggled maybe a little bit early.
I think so.
Maybe won the series and whatnot, but that layoff, throwing that timing off is a nightmare, man.
Because
I tell you what, if you sweep a team like 4 straight, and you swept the earlier team before that, you could have like 10 days off before you finish. The other team, gets through their game 7, and they're right in line, they're right in motion, they're just marching, they're just doing their thing. And you're coming in, cold and off the street, so to speak. It can wreak havoc.
You know what? And I'll tell you, just because I'm a Tigers fan, in 2006, they clinched the championship, American League Championship. They had a 7-day layoff, and they got smoked by the Cardinals in that series. And the Cardinals only had a 2-day layoff because their series went 7 games. And these guys just got on the plane, they went to Detroit. And then in 2012, when the Tigers played the Giants.
There was a guy named Albert Pujols might have helped with that situation
they get guys like that. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Same thing happened in 2012. They had a 6-day layoff. And the Giants went 7 games in their series in the National League. And again, they just walked right into it, just kept playing. And, that's a small sample size. That doesn't mean it happens every single time. But there is an argument, just exactly what Brad was saying. And I said, what about the hitters? The hitters, it shouldn't happen. The hitters should be not a problem, right? He goes, no, they can get a batting cage, but you can't replicate what he called the planes, as the different pitches coming into different angles and that.
Yeah.
That's, a hell of a good point. He goes,
especially in October air.
No kidding. Absolutely.
Your stuff can be doing some weird, freaky shit.
Yep.
In this, especially now it's warm and it's not supposed to be. I mean,
it's going to turn cold.
Those guys can make that damn thing dance.
That's right. It is going to turn cold, no doubt about it. So, but that is just so damn cool to have the Indians in there. And then I can't wait as soon as we get done here. We're going to turn over to
we're going straight to the Cubbies, baby.
It's the Cubbies, and I'm wearing my Cubbies.
Chad Esmond, I love you, and I love your Dodgers and all, but come on, man, 1908, give it up.
It's
go Cubbies.
The Dodgers have been there. I'm all Cubbies.
Yeah.
Little clink of the glasses here, brother. There you go.
I've had a friend since kindergarten who's been a Cubbies fan.
That says something.
I've gotten 3 World Series since then. He hasn't gotten a sniff. He's due.
I tell you what.
Here's to you, Mole.
You know what? Hey,
tip your hat to my buddy Joel.
There you go, buddy. So let's, we're going to be talking about that over the next week. Obviously, you're going to be just glued to the TVs watching that. And then hopefully,
time for your wife to come right down.
Yeah,
I'm out of beer. She needs to understand her role a little bit better in this organization.
You know what?
Can you page her or something? Send a text.
She'd be like a red light. Hit the button. There's a red light upstairs.
No. No, let's be snooty English bastards. Let's ring a frickin' bell. No, because then the audience will know how many times we're needing new beer.
That is true. That is true.
That's probably not good.
And then it'll also give the Indians pitcher Trevor Bauer, who is ace, it sounds like, when it flies drones, gives some time to heal. Was that
did you watch that part, man? I mean, he's like, camera 6, it's hemorrhaging. Cameras, scan into the electron microscope level so we can see the actual red blood cells exploding out of that gaping wound. I mean, that was, what? I give him credit for trying.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, basically, like 40% of his flesh on his whole finger is gone.
It was gone. Yeah.
On his whole finger.
Yeah.
Let alone, and MLB is really super strict. You can't have a Band-Aid. You can't have a piece of tape.
Yep.
You can't super glue. You can't do nothing. I mean, he had stitches in there open, and just the snapping of the ball and whatnot. They just eventually. the knots didn't loosen up.
Yeah.
But the stitches inside the flesh kept working back and just working its way, and then it just started gushing blood, man.
Now, what they didn't show is at commercial takeaways, the grounds crew went out looking for the rest of his finger.
Oh, shit. You know what? I think it'd have been better. You know what he should have done? He should have just freaking cauterized that bastard. But
you know what? There are going to be Halloween costumes. Trevor Bauer, somehow they're going to have, the funky hands or something like that.
Well, the bad part is it's on the side, so it's across a couple appendages. There's not much you can do. I remember when Ronnie Lott boogered his pinky finger up, and he just had him snip off the end of it and just like cauterized it. And he's like back in a week.
He's back. That's right. That's right.
Zero fucks given.
That's one thing though. But when you're a pitcher and you get blood all over the ball,
well, you need placement of all your digits precisely on the baseball. Yeah, it's heck,
you don't think the addition of a little blood on a baseball is going to alter the rotation or anything like that, do you?
I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, but
it'd have been fun going out to the mound looking at blood all over the place. I mean, it's just carnage. But so that's kind of cool because it's like White Road or wrestling or something like that, in baseball. So, as like I said, we're going to be talking about that, excited about that as all heck. And, really looking forward to, hitting that up. So what do you think now? You want to talk about little college football?
Yeah. Let's get into college, baby.
So you know what? We had two big games last week. The first one we already mentioned, Alabama just annihilates Tennessee, just humiliates them. It took the volunteer out of the Volunteers. I don't think these guys are going to volunteer for anything else.
And, it was... they just got up early, and then they just kept beating the shit out of them.
And they didn't let up.
They did not let up.
No, they didn't.
They did not let up. Alabama can't stop a run, a run on offense, save their ass.
No.
I mean, Alabama had almost three guys. Well, between three guys, they had 300 yards rushing.
Okay.
Hurst had like 130. The next guy had like 95 or 102, and the next guy had like 94. Come on, man. You got 300-yard rushers, Bring 9 guys up and do something different. But
it wasn't like they were ripping it up into the pass game. They took what it was given to them, and they just ran all over them. So, you know what?
A couple games surprised me, though.
What's that?
North Carolina knocking off the U.
Yeah.
After North Carolina came off a devastating loss, they kind of pulled it together. ACC looks like rivalries are really established now, and that league's getting better in football, man.
Yep.
That league is their football is getting better. Nebby barely beating Indiana.
Oh, yep.
I mean, that was a tough game.
Hey, what about Clemson and North Carolina State going in overtime?
And you know what? Clemson deserved to lose that game.
You know what? And Clemson, that's at home too.
Yeah. But they didn't. But they didn't. Which and I see a lot of people bitching about Michigan moving up and Clemson dropping.
There's a reason.
Well, if it ain't for a shank 25-yard field goal,
no shit.
You got an L.
But that kid for North Carolina State, he missed 2 or 3 field goals in that game.
He missed,
and the one at the very
2.
end. Yeah.
I mean, but the last one's a chip shot money, man. Come on, redeem yourself, dude.
Absolutely. And then of course you came over on Saturday night.
Yes.
And we were just, I was gnawing off, I think, down my fingernails. I was doing a Trevor Bauer with my fingers. Just absolutely eating them up.
That is the first Ohio State game in a long time where I haven't been comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, even if we're down, like JT throws a pick six or something, you know what, he's going to get pissed off. We'll score right back again.
We'll be fine.
Yeah. When we were down early, I mean, when we were down, I think we were down 16-3 or 16-6 at half.
Yep.
I'm going, ugh. We're up at Camp Randall, and let me tell you, the Cheese Brothers, they start. God love them, man. They're hardcore.
Yep.
Whether their game is on at noon or at 4. Or at 8 o'clock at night.
I don't like playing those guys.
They start drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I don't like
playing those guys. That place is extra. And that place is like a rave, man.
Everybody I've ever talked to.
The energy in there is just rocking. I mean, and I didn't realize this until this weekend when they mentioned it on the game. The Buckeyes are the youngest team in the Power 5 conferences combined.
Yep.
And they're number 2. So to go into a brutal place like that and have a team that, prepares 2 weeks for you.
And Paul Chris with Wisconsin put together a perfect game plan.
Yes, he did.
He put together the perfect game plan against them.
I don't care about spreads. I don't care nothing about none of that shit. You won the game. Get out of Dodge. You're a better ball club.
Yep. So I'm going to tell you what this game was to Ohio State. This was the Virginia Tech game 2 weeks ago. Why don't you move your phone? I think it's your phone there. There you go. That was the Virginia Tech game 2 years ago, and the Michigan State game last year.
And we grew up.
Yep.
We grew up and won it.
And both of those games, and this game too, they got punched in the mouth. Wisconsin came out and just punched them in the mouth a couple times. And the difference was they won this game. Virginia Tech, they lost. Michigan State, they lost. Absolutely. And that says something about not just, Urban Meyer. That was a different team in second half.
Well, JT is a very good leader.
Yep.
I mean,
They didn't look scared, did they?
No. They never look rattled. Yeah. You know, there's a couple times they're kind of looking around going, "God damn it!" You know, you can tell they're frustrated. Yeah. But they never were like, "What was that?" You know. So kudos, man.
So after all that, the polls come out. Alabama's still number one. I think Alabama deserves to be number one. Is there anything to knock? Is there any reason to ever take an Alabama down from number one? I mean,
well, here's the thing: when you're the defending national champ, and guess what? It means something. You can kiss my booty. It means something.
Sure.
There's how you ended the year before has weight. So, and you're the national champ. You have to get beat to get knocked off the perch, pretty much. I mean, unless you have to lose. Yeah. You have to lose.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Alabama deserves to be number one.
Now, if they struggled and it was an overtime game and they won by a field goal, I can see some votes going other places, maybe spreading that wealth a little bit. But no, you can't. No.
Yeah, I'm with you. So they have a great matchup this weekend. They play Texas A&M.
Oh.
It's in Alabama. So obviously they're going to be the favorites in that one. But that is a nice matchup. Give them credit because the past couple weeks,
A&M's been a little thorn in Bama's side.
Absolutely, you nailed it. Absolutely. So and again, if the Tide beats Texas A&M, they're number one, baby. I mean, there's no reason why they don't run the table and just go into the And the nice thing is we're going to have playoffs.
Well, you've got an SEC title game yet.
There is, I don't know.
They have to play LSU yet.
Probably have to play Texas A&M again or something like that.
You have this, and you know what? I'm going to smack you double lowercase m.
Smack it, that's right.
there is a thing called the frickin' Iron Bowl.
Where is Auburn? I think Auburn is.
It don't matter. It's the Iron Bowl. Do you remember running back a short field goal to break it off in Bama's butt a couple years ago?
That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was beyond cool. It was freaking awesome. But that's a rivalry game. So that I don't care.
I'll give you that.
I don't care if Auburn's lost them all going up into that point.
I'll give you that. And just like Ohio State,
every team has traps now because every team is in conference play.
Really,
there's all those histories and all those rivalries. Every team out there now in the top 10 has a trap game somewhere, at least one.
Every week, there's another history behind that game. There's another, there's something going on with that game.
Case in point, the Buckeyes this week at Penn State.
Absolutely,
it'll be a friggin' whiteout, 112,000 insane people.
Absolutely,
the youngest team in the Power 5. They could fall apart. I don't see it happening, but I mean,
there's a possibility.
Back 2 weeks in a row, that's a real mental test, man.
And that's actually a good test for a Ohio State fan. That's a good test.
Well, you know what? It'd be fantastic if we pass it. So
yeah. So you mentioned that game. We got Ohio State going to Penn State. That's in the evening. We've got in the afternoon. We've got Texas A&M at Alabama. I didn't really see a lot of other big games coming up this weekend. Did you?
No.
Besides those,
I mean, who else is playing here? Well, they're all playing.
Michigan's got Illinois, so that
Michigan should destroy Wisconsin, Iowa out in the Big Ten West. Might be something.
That's a fun game. That's a fun-looking game.
We're struggling here.
Now, here's one I'm interested in, just because it's a MAC. Western Michigan. It's always fun to
Broncos,
have a local,
KZoo, baby.
That's right, a local MAC team breaking into the top 25.
Yeah. Western Michigan actually recruited me.
What, did they really?
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Are you
yeah.
shitting?
Oh, no, I'm not.
Kidding.
Yeah, then I sent him film.
Really?
Yeah,
No
and then I never heard from him again.
Yeah, but still. That's recruiting.
I actually went up there for a game, and when they realized I lied exorbitantly about I wasn't 6'6", 237 pounds. I was 6'1", $147.
Yeah.
They went.
So another reason why I'm really interested in Western Michigan is because they play our Toledo Rockets.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Or I should say our Toledo Rockets played them because they go up to Western Michigan.
Up to Kazoo.
Yeah, and that is November 25th.
Cool stadium. Have you been up to Kazoo?
Actually,
I've
driven by it.
Built into the hill?
That's
badass, man.
Yeah,
That's
I
really
have driven
cool
by
place.
that.
That's got a neat aura to it, man.
There's a nice bar, a little sports dive bar
there
across the stadium.
There it is, yeah.
Across the street from the stadium.
Yeah,
and I have had.
And what's the sorority house right beside it? help me out.
I don't remember.
Phi Slamma Gamma. Help me out, but you don't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. It was an evening, and we'll just leave it at that. Okay, it was a business trip, of course, but
you put that on the P card, did you?
I'm not going to say anything.
Well, you know what? As long as it was signed off, you're good.
I've always wanted to do this. On advice of counsel, I'm going to plead the fifth. We got the microphone and everything right here.
There you go.
And then the other thing about Western Michigan is that PJ Fleck, their head coach, is, his name is now being bandied around, for Purdue and other, places like that. And that just is another nod to the MAC conference because they always have guys that just,
they're successful coaches.
They are.
They go places.
Yeah, they are.
They get their cracks at it. They sure do.
They are. And they
sure do.
They earn the right to move up to another level. And because that is a great conference. And,
Saban was in the MAC. Urban was in the MAC.
He could go.
Pinkel was in the MAC. I mean, come on, man. They was all there.
Oh, Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
Brian Kelly was Central Michigan's head coach before he went to Cincinnati, and then he went to Notre Dame, and he'll be gone after that, most likely.
Oh, God.
And so, poor guy. There's nothing good for him right now. He's gone.
It breaks my heart.
He's gone. It's just.
Let's just face it. Notre Dame sucks.
They do. He's probably doing the best that he can with what he's got.
You have no business sucking when you're Notre Dame.
That is true. You're right.
You have no business sucking when you're Notre Dame, and they're just gagging.
So what you're saying is, I completely agree. You're Ohio State, you're Alabama, you're USC, you're LSU, you're Texas. Nobody gives you any passes.
When you have 2 losses in a season at those places, you've had that's complete and utter failure.
Absolutely,
complete and utter failure.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. No doubt about it. So, no doubt about it. This is getting fun. It really sucks though, is that I look forward to football season, college football season, for months and months and months. And then it comes along and then it goes so damn fast. I
know. It seems to go way faster than the pros.
I know.
I don't
does.
know why.
I just hate it.
All of a sudden you're sitting around getting fat and drunk at the office party and these bowl games are on already.
I know.
You're like, what the fuck?
And I know. It just makes me
It's like last
cry.
week there were conference games, conference title games, and now there's all these bowls already. It's
I know. It makes me want to cry. It just, because it is so damn fun. Going out because with kids like that, it's so unpredictable. It is when we were and I was just banging on you and we were watching that Ohio State game. It's like and for complete disclosure, Troy was sitting in front of me, and so I was just going nuts.
Oh my God!
I'd hit the first thing that was around me.
I took like 14 karate chops to the neck, man.
I couldn't help myself. I had to,
you could have. You chose not to.
So, all right. What do you say?
Yeah. In the groupie seats, which are still and they're still empty, by the way.
So, what do you say? You want to move on over to the pros now?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's get the. Let's get the madness over with.
All right.
Holy crap.
Okay, go ahead. You always do a good job of going through the numbers.
This is brutal. Let me see. You last week were 7 of 15 straight up. 9 of 15 against the spread. Daddy-O made some money last week.
Dude, I'm Vegas bound. I am Vegas bound.
Yeah. Well, you're actually 51% for the year. So
you want to carry my luggage out there?
Yeah,
you can carry my luggage.
Bitch. And I last week was at 53%. And
straight up,
33% against the spread.
What the hell happened?
Well, see, here's the deal, man.
Okay, go ahead. Give me your spin.
Here's how you
Give me
work
your
it.
political spin here.
No. What happens is
I doubled you. I but
dude, I got paid so much more money. Because here's how.
I'm dealing in dollars, right? And you're dealing in tens of thousands, right? I understand. Yeah.
Well, no. Oh, shit. My collectors are, but I'm not. When you're that bad, your friends will start to just go the opposite of what you pick, and because you suck, you end up pinching a bit of it out of there. So I'm getting paid. So the worst thing to be is 50% because then nobody can judge what the fuck you're doing. But if you're 33% or 97%. Then you can help. You can help. You can help the cause. So, but you're at 51% for the year against the spread. I'm 46. I'm in debt, man.
You know what? But half the season's not over with yet.
I could just catch. Absolutely, I could catch vicious fire.
Absolutely.
Saying that is who I am.
Actually, that is you. I am Brim Double M. That's right, Stone. So one of the big takeaways. Was what about Big Ben?
Yeah, Big Ben going down. Steelers screwed us both, so I can't help you there.
Did you see how he went down?
No, I did not. What happened?
Okay,
is it nasty? Is he going to be out for a while?
What happened was he's out. He had meniscus surgery the other day.
Okay,
and
he never blows shit or tears it all out.
No,
completely.
He doesn't.
He sprains the shit out of it. He this big old corn-fed monster of a guy.
Well, here's what he did. What happened? This defensive lineman put this finesse move on the offensive lineman.
Oh, like Frank's finesse move? Well done. No, you probably thought about that all fucking week, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
You know what happened? He didn't get touched.
Frank, that was for you, baby. Go change that poop diaper right now. We're talking about you.
From what I read, he said I was just moving around, and I just felt something funny in the knee, which happens, right? It just happens.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like a massive hit or anything like that.
Yeah.
I wish it was a Frank finesse move, but it wasn't. But he's out. Landry Jones is going to be their quarterback. It it is what it is. It sucks for the Steelers, but they're in a division that I think that they can still hold their own.
Oh yeah.
With the who else are they? The Ravens, who's not playing great, Bengals, and of course Browns. So that doesn't mean that Pittsburgh's out of it.
Hold serve to the halfway point.
Yep, absolutely,
and then go from there, man. I'm telling you, it's. We're fast approaching the halfway point of the season here, but there's so much more football, man. There's so much more.
Okay, I'm going to quickly gloss over the fact that my Raiders just took a big-ass turd. A turd all over the place.
And I was highly disappointed with that. We both picked them both.
That's right, all the way across.
There was a chance for the Raiders to get into first place.
That's
in
right,
that division
on top of the division,
like 5-6 years.
I know. It's just okay. But here's what I want to talk about: your Cowboys, baby. I mean,
dude, I watched that game and I just smiled the whole time, man. We were never like threatened, We were never in jeopardy really of losing that game. It was like the Cowboys old, Once we got up 10 points. It might as well have been 21 because first of all, their quarterback got destroyed.
Yeah.
As mobile as Rodgers is, he got manhandled. He got roughed up. And our offense, Dak is ridiculous.
It just
and Zeke goes 4 straight games of $130 or more.
Hey,
I mean.
Well, he had like 153 or something like that.
Yeah.
Some stupid amount.
He's won 4 straight games of 130 more or more yards per game, and to just.
All right, Zeke had 157. Not bad for a rookie, huh?
Yeah. Well, they've played 6 games.
They have
Four
played,
of them. Four of them have been over 100 yards.
That's right.
He started out really bad because he kind of sucked.
Remember, I anointed him the next.
You anointed him the next god.
Yeah, that's right.
And then he comes out for 52 and then 83.
That's right.
And then we're going, oh my God, we need to reevaluate. Then he breaks off 4 straight with 130
I was
plus.
doing a Chris Berman back.
So there's a 20-year-old man, and he is a man.
He is a man
who in about 50 snaps figured out the NFL.
Yep. Yep. You know what?
The fuck is that?
And CBS did a nice graphic the other day, or Fox, I think it was, did a nice graphic. And what they showed was, in the first couple games, for him to go upfield, he ran like 4 yards to the right or left. And then he shot upfield. Yeah. Now he's only running 2 yards right or left. So not only that, the line is opening up. The line figured him out as well. And knowing, and let's
timing, rhythm,
absolutely,
all again.
Absolutely. So he's running
in the NFL, it doesn't necessarily work to go as fast as you can towards the line of scrimmage every play.
Right.
You know, sometimes you have to let shit develop and move, and he's found that rhythm after 2 games.
So you're on defense now.
After 2 games.
You're on defense now. You don't know how to plan against a guy. You know he can run right or left. You can go up and down in the middle. He can catch a damn ball.
Get him in a pile and punch him in the balls. That's the only chance you have.
That is about the only thing that they have.
I mean.
And then, okay, what about Dax? 176 passes.
He finally threw his pick. Thank God. Get that shit over with.
Get it over with.
But he's got a record. That's nice. But that really does speak to the poise.
Yeah.
And the presence that Dak has. And how well he works within that offense.
Yeah.
And how well they're calling plays. And you know, that's pretty. And guess what? Tony, you're going to sit, bro. You got to sit. They need Tony. They need him to win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
I don't know if they need him in the game necessarily to win a Super Bowl, but at some point this year, they need him to win a Super Bowl. It's going to happen.
Yep.
But you can't break this chemistry. You're 5-1. You got a bye week. I don't know who they come back with next week. Probably a divisional opponent. No, you can't screw that shit up, man.
There isn't a rational reason to do that. I mean, and I would like to think if you're Tony Romo, you're even looking at that going, as much as you'd like to get.
No. You can't, because if you're Tony Romo, you're a freaking Hall of Famer quarterback. You're a gunslinging. You're going. You got to give me the reins.
I know.
That's the mentality. That's because if he doesn't think like that, he's not Tony Romo.
You know what? I give you credit on that. That's a very good point. If you don't think that you want the damn ball every single time, it just to give up the ball.
Well, there's no way. There's no way he thinks that he goes. I can't. That I can't do better.
Right.
I mean, he's proven it season over season over season. I mean, but. You can't. That whole thing. You get your job back, man. Not when the momentum is this egregious.
I mean,
there's just too much mo.
When Romo went down, there are 2 teams back in Game 3 of the preseason. Romo goes down, and you're going, oh shit!
I know.
There goes the Cowboys.
Yep.
There,
okay. 1-12, 1-15.
All right, Teddy Bridgewater. My heart sunk. When, Bridgewater goes down, I'm like, oh my God,
nobody touches him and everything in his knee is destroyed.
Just gets destroyed.
I mean, it's like somebody stuck a grenade under his kneecap.
Yeah.
And went, tink.
Okay. So here we are heading into week 7. And we're talking about a 5-1 Cowboys and what a 5-0 Vikings. I mean, the two
4-2 Buffalo Bills.
I mean, give them all the credit in the world.
A 4-2 Raiders.
The Raiders should be 5-1, but they're dumbasses. They lost the game. It
don't matter. You did not expect to be 4-2, but at this point, so shut your mouth.
Looking at the games this coming weekend, one I do like is that Sunday night game, and that is the Seahawks going to the Cardinals. Cardinals need that game. Larry, Carson Palmer. They need that game. They can't go down. They can't go a negative record, 3-4 against,
Well, it's probably going to take 10. Well, hold on. Didn't Arizona go 10-6? Not maybe last year, but the year before.
2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago, and got their feelings hurt.
Yeah, they did.
10-6 did not get you. So if you get beat now, you're 3-4. So you have one game. You have a 1-game margin from here on out.
Yep.
So essentially, if you're a 500 ball club, your playoffs start now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
Absolutely. Another one I'm looking at here is there is just some dynamic here. You've got the Vikings going to the Eagles. So you got Sam Bradford is playing in Philadelphia.
Yeah, on the other side.
The other side of the ball. And then he gets a play against Carson Wentz. That is just the optics of the game.
And
looks
boy,
really
didn't
cool.
Wentz look freaking rookie-ish?
He did.
Wow.
He had to. At some point,
he came back to earth. Well,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sorry. Shepard's going to look rookie-ish some game. He's going to throw 3. He's going to throw 2 or 3 at some point. It's going to happen. You can't. Okay.
I'd be surprised if it didn't. I agree.
But that is just a nice-looking game. I'm thinking that the Vikings still win that because of Bradford, because just the fact that Bradford has got the experience.
Here's my triple super shocker.
Talk to me.
You know, and I'm going to mark it times 3, because this is the only way I can start getting back in the ball game here.
Well, I tell you what,
or get big in a hole. No.
You've got.
Here's my triple super shocker. I'm taking the 0-6 Clowns, knocking off Cincy, man.
Holy shit! Straight up.
Straight up, and obviously the 10. It's happening.
Wow. Okay, because I took them with the points. I took the Browns with the points.
Give Terrell Pryor the ball 52 times a game. See what the fuck happens.
It's Cody Kessler and Terrell Pryor. That is a nice-looking combination.
Get that going so you can set up your run game, because your run game can't really set up your throw right now. So guess what? Do the opposite.
That is a nice-looking combination. I'm going to stick with the Bengals. I'm going to stick with my Bengals.
Yeah, well, that's fine. That's fine. I'll make up a point there, percentage point
right. there. What about the Redskins at the Lions? That I don't know why, but the Lions, Matt Stafford, and the Lions.
You're taking the Skins, getting 1.5.
It's almost a pick'em game.
Oh, cranberries.
It's damn near a pick'em game.
Yeah, you're pathetic, man. That's a double Detroit. I'm making up I'm making up points right there.
You know what it is?
I'm marking it for historical purposes.
The spread's a 1.5 for the Lions. I picked the Lions straight up. I picked the Redskins and the points, which means I have no freaking clue. I'm just, I'm just hoping I get one of them.
But your no freaking clue got you 60%.
That's right. It wasn't too bad because I did the exact same thing last week.
Why don't you do like my wife did? By the biggest, cutest butt and the sexiest pants. She was a Raider fan, by the way.
Was she really?
Yeah, Howie Long did it for her.
No kidding, really.
Another reason to hate the asshole.
Now, what I am personally hoping for is the Saints and the Chiefs, because I wanted the Saints to bump off the Chiefs. And once again, I split that up, took the Chiefs straight up, and I took the Saints.
Dude, there's no way.
Kansas. Drew Brees is one of the best ever.
Yeah, I know, but Kansas City has no defense.
Yeah, that's true.
Literally, they would do better off if they just didn't put anybody out there and just got the ball back after a score.
So, any other games you like? Okay, your Cowboys, what do you think?
We're buying. Let me see here.
They're down. They're taking the week off. They're probably Jason Witten probably is going to Cabo San Lucas, something like that, or Cancun, taking the week off. What do you think? Okay, you're Dax Shepard, and you got a week off. What do you think he's going to do? I mean, you don't want to lose that edge, kind of like we were talking about the Indians. What do you do? What do you take a rookie? You haven't been through this before. What do you think the coach are going to tell him? Don't give me that look on your face. I know what you're thinking.
I know what my coach would tell me not to do.
Yeah,
and I'm doing all those things times 3. Because I'm a fucking rookie. 0 fucks given.
You know what? He sounds good on film. You know what I mean? In the interviews, he looks good on film. He's doing all the right things. So it'll be interesting to come back with. But it's kind of funny what you said about I'm going to do whatever it is. John Matuzak. Remember Matuzak? With the Raiders? Okay. So
did anybody follow the rules on that freaking team back then?
So, okay, the Raiders are in the Super Bowl in New Orleans against the Eagles. It was like 1980.
80,
81.
Yep.
Okay, I think it was 80 season, 81 Super Bowl. So, curfew time. All right. Guys, you had to be in by midnight, something like that. Well, guess what? Somebody nails Matuzak 3:30 in the morning and Bourbon Street, and
with four women, right? I mean, come on.
So
it's Matuz.
So
he's probably got about 3 8 balls up his nose.
Yeah, that's right. So somehow they get him. They catch him. They catch him. They catch him dead to rights. I mean, he's not hiding anything.
This is the Raider security and everybody. And,
that's exactly what he said. They go, okay, what the hell are you doing out here? He goes, I'm making sure nobody else is out here right now.
I can see a deadpan face, man. He goes, "Yep," and they're all back, aren't they?
That's right. Yeah,
they're all
back.
Right.
Making sure they're not out here.
That's beautiful.
You could see that happening, could you?
Oh God, in Madden. I mean, oh God. What do you do? And he's just like, you know what? Just
whatever.
Keep him in the city limits.
That's
man.
right. Just whatever. Just wipe
those
the
teams
net
are out
for
of
him.
control.
That is absolutely beautiful. But dude, this was another absolute blast.
Yeah, it sure was. Let's hope it's more fun next week when I kick your ass in these picks.
What are we going to put on this? You want to put something on this?
We're going to put some sort of dinner or something, man.
We got to put something that we got to put some skin in the game. I'm in. I am all in on that. Yeah. All right, what we will do is next week we will announce what you lost. You know, in
there
this.
There you go.
You know, in this round of picks here. But, you know, again, another absolute fun time. This is an absolute blast. I'm looking forward to this every time we do this. We're also on Facebook. Let's announce.
We're on Facebook. Come on. We're on Twitter.
We're on Twitter.
Out there.
Okay. Twitter is at Fire and Brim, double M.
Stone.
Okay. That's well, there's no stone because it's too many letters. Okay. So Fire and Brim. So we're out on Twitter right now. We're out at Facebook at Fire and Brimmstone. And we're posting a lot of cool stuff out there, too. So it's being a fun time, and we're just going to keep growing this thing, you know?
Let's do it.
Dude, love it, man. See ya. Out. Bye.